Namaste. I'm Dr. Robert, and today on 5-ish Minutes with Dr. Robert, my subject is honesty. As with many words, honesty has gone through some changes over the centuries in its primary meaning. The primary meaning of the word honesty in the past, meaning 500 or 600 years ago, was virtuous, and the primary meaning of virtuous 500 or 600 years ago was valorous. And valor does not necessarily imply wandering around with a broadsword and smacking people with it. Valor instead implies being willing to be of use to others, to assist them possibly to achieve things that need to be achieved that they might not otherwise be able to achieve. When we take the word honesty in the more modern sense and we try to translate it into Sanskrit, it's not such a direct kind of translation. There are most commonly two words that come up, the first being shuchi, which really means purity, and the second being more accurate, even if rather more indirect, and that is rjutva. The word rju means straight. Kutila means crooked. So an honest person is a straight shooter, a person who does things in a straight way. A person who is crooked, well, we know what a crooked person does. They cut corners, they lie, they cheat, they attempt to present reality in such a way that they believe it will benefit them. If we really want to be honest, then we have to first be honest with ourselves. We have to be straight with ourselves. We need to be able to look at ourselves dispassionately. We need to burn down all of our constructs, all of our mental patterns that are allowing us to look at ourselves inaccurately. We need to be able to admit to ourselves who we are, and then we can start to look at possibilities for making changes in who we are. This is, yet again, one of the great benefits of satsanga, people coming together, attempting to move in the direction of sat. Sat meaning truth, sat meaning that which is real. And when one is being honest, one is attempting to look at what is true in oneself, what is real in oneself, what is true and real in others, and to try to promote the awareness of and the communication of, the speaking of truth. Now, often it is the case that we may say something that we believe to be true, that we believe to be honest, that in fact may not be as true and as honest as we believe it to be. And of course, some people who are inherently crooked and so crooked that they may not even be aware of it themselves feel compelled to say things that they are aware may be hurtful in the guise of saying that they are being brutally honest. So being honest and being straightforward does not in any way necessitate brutality, because having a compassion, having a goodwill towards all sentient beings is and should be the prerequisite, the first filter that we apply when we're attempting to communicate with and work with others. So instead, we should be first honest about what it is we feel, and we need to be willing to try to do our best to express that to whoever we want to express it, but first expressing goodwill first. No abstraction without goodwill. So our opinion about what something may be and our opinion about what truth may be in any particular context and situation is just that. It's an opinion. The real truth is something that is absolute. Everything else is relative truth. So when you're looking to be honest and express a relative truth, you can express that relative truth in a relative way that still expresses goodwill and therefore is still a straight way of allowing your prana to flow, connect to the prana of someone else, have a mutual nourishing effect, even if it may be not necessarily completely saccharine sweet, but may have a little bitterness that has to be dealt with on both sides, but is much more honest and straightforward than simply trying to be crooked about things, something that is not going to promote the free flow of prana, is not going to promote vitality, valor, virtue, and ultimately honesty. That crookedness will also produce bad karmas, which will ultimately catch up with you. It is always important to live with reality, because otherwise you can be sure that reality will come to live with you. This is Dr. Robert, wishing everyone a happy satsanga with those who are truly moving in the direction of trying to live in Sat.